We're here today to show the real tangible benefits of a clean energy economy for Kentucky. Clean energy is a growth industry, provides better paying jobs, and more of them while lowering the cost of utilities for the average household. Just last week, this country's first ever Clean Energy Act passed through the Energy and Commerce Committee, the initial step on its way to becoming law. This historic climate and energy bill has the potential to transition America to a new clean energy economy. As the bill moves next to the Ways and Means Committee, on which sits our own John Yarmouth, we're calling on the congressman to strengthen and champion that legislation, which could bring more clean energy jobs to our community and to this nation. We'll talk further about that in a few minutes, but first,
such as these, we've got to step up, we've got to push through stronger bills so we can be a leader once again in building net zero energy homes and becoming more responsible with the resources that are out there. Now, my product, which is a structural insulated panel, as I said, it helps to reduce the amount of energy used in homes that are being built, up to a 50% reduction, which makes other products like your wind and your solar a much more viable product. If more homes are being built using products such as mine, and more homes were being built using wind and solar, you'd have less need for the power plants that are out there. And it would also create jobs.
Our competitor nations are beating the tar out of us, both on energy policy, technology, and implementation. We need to make that change. We need to get back out in front and lead. This fight is not only for the health of our environment that will sustain our children, but also for the wealth of our country.
One of the most important aspects in my mind of this clean energy bill that's in front of Congress right now is it would mandate that the utilities buy a certain percentage of their electricity from renewable resources. Now, about half the states in the country already have that as a state requirement, but as you might guess, in Kentucky, that's not the case because the coal industry and the utilities have kept that from happening. But if this legislation is passed, it will be on a national level and it will come to Kentucky finally.
Now, what you've heard about today, and I think what this bill really kind of gets to, is the triple bottom line. I think we've all heard about that. It's profit, it's planet, it's people. And at USGBC, we think that LEED buildings will fulfill the triple bottom line. It's a new way of saying an old phrase, which is you can do well by doing good. And we think that the bill will help more people do well by doing good.
This continuing thing, you got to talk to everybody you can to get them involved if you really want it to continue, because that grassroots motivation is what made the change, and that's what we've got to keep it up to promote that, to get it. I know it works. I've seen it work. I've been struggling trying to do some conventional stuff while I do my other renewable stuff, and I want everybody here to go out and talk it up big time. That's all.
Is that we're really on the beginning, at the cusp of that beginning wave. And so federal legislation that can continue to try to drive a market for those kinds of skills and those kinds of certifications gives people like me in the job training business the ability to work with customers who want to go get those certifications and become competitive to do that work. That creates the virtuous circle so that the market completes itself. That's why the political organizing is important. It's why the advocacy is important, and ultimately what's really powerful.
All across the nation, concerned citizens are joining you in presenting a clear, simple message. We need green jobs in our communities, and we need them now. Green jobs are the way of the future, and in the midst of an economic downturn with rising unemployment, we cannot afford to wait any longer to embrace new, cleaner, greener technologies. This Congress is committed to working with President Obama and all of you to transform our nation's energy picture into one that is self-sustaining, respectful of the planet, and a driving force behind a thriving American economy.